a minute, but first, your 7-day stretch. Let's talk about it for this last week of April. 83 in LA for your Sunday. Beautiful weather. Meanwhile, we've got a frontal boundary stretched across the middle portions of the country, and again, some more winter weather for the northern tier. That frontal boundary finally gets on the move by Monday and moves in across the Ohio River Valley down through the southern plains. You can see Denver upper 50s for you. Meanwhile, Atlanta out ahead of that frontal boundary, mid-80s for your Monday. Here's Tuesday. You can see the rain has pushed itself to the eastern seaboard. Some storms for the A. Meanwhile, Denver, you're back up into the mid-70s. And Seattle, you're looking at our next system moving in there across the Pacific Northwest. Wednesday looking fantastic across much of the country. Well, except for Chicago. You're a little chilly. You're a little below average. But Denver, you're looking fantastic. LA finally a bit cooler for you in the lower 70s. As we head into Thursday, New York, sunny skies, but below average temperatures. Another plume of rain moving across the middle part of the country. And by Friday, we're getting really soggy for places like Fargo, but at least it's not snow, right? It's windy in Dallas and in the upper 80s. To Saturday, you can see it again, mid-80s for places like Atlanta, upper 60s, and beautiful in Denver. Risk for strong storms across portions of the northern tier as well. Taking a look at Illinois this morning, you've got some rain, heavy at times, moving through from Springfield through Peoria, Burlington, a bit of a wet start for you. All of this also pushing through the Windy City. I hope you enjoyed that nice weather that you had yesterday, because today we've got some changes on the way. Take a look at the difference in temperatures here. It's 70 degrees in Columbus and sunny. Meanwhile, behind that frontal boundary, it's 46 in Des Moines. So once we finally get this front to move through, as it's moving through, it's going to bring us that risk for strong to severe storms for all of the areas shaded in red, from Saginaw down through even right south of St. Louis. Now behind that frontal boundary, you're going to have much cooler air building in. So here is this look at future radar as the frontal boundary moves through. It's sparking up some of those storms this afternoon. Fort Wayne, that's knocking on your door mid-afternoon into the evening. And then you'll notice it doesn't move a whole lot. Many of the same places are going to be dealing with rounds and rounds of rain across Missouri, Illinois, into Indiana as well. So here's what we're looking at for tomorrow. You've got that risk shifting a bit farther to the east. We'll talk more about this coming up a little later in the show, so stick around. Hey, we've gotten a little bit of a bullseye of snow there just to the west of Rapid City. That's added up to more than 2 feet in some places. So yeah, winter not quite letting go of its grips just yet, Paul. And man, this system just keeps blowing my mind.
And I haven't let go of the whole cinnamon bun thing.
Oh my gosh, I love a good cinnamon roll.
The icing on there,
oh,
and it gets hard.
So good.
And you kind of eat that at the very end.
You know what? I have an unpopular opinion though. You know the middle that gets really, really gooey?
Yes.
I hate it.
What?
Yeah, I hate
Okay, get the outside, I get the inside.
There we go. Yes, let's Uber Eats a cinnamon roll.
But let's talk about what's happening.
Northern tier as well, where we've got that risk for some strong storms up to Missouri and Illinois here, where you can see that rain moving through. Here's the bad news about it. You're going to not really see much change in this weather as we head through the day today. That frontal boundary's not in any hurry to move out. So while it will move a little bit south and east, still much of these cities that you're seeing, like Peoria, will be stuck in the rain for most of the day. You can see the general trajectory of these showers kind of being guided along that boundary from the southwest to the northeast, riding along the frontal boundary. Now, meanwhile, take a look at this. Can you tell where the front is and the difference in the weather out in front of it? In Charleston, West Virginia, you're sitting at a balmy 75 fantastic degrees. Meanwhile, in Des Moines, you're at a cold 49 degrees thanks to that frontal boundary. It's I-90, so definitely don't want to be driving through that. I know portions of some of the highways have been closed on and off across the Dakotas because of this winter weather for the past few weeks, so we could still be dealing with some of that. Look at the snow just absolutely encompassing I-94 at this moment, some of that coming down at a really heavy clip. And you know, Paul, we've been talking about it now, and you said you think it's going to be April is going to be our blizzard month, and I think that's about right.
Yeah, back-to-back blizzards here, but they don't stop there. They push eastward, but not bringing a whole lot of snow farther east. But
Please get ready, because it's going to get cold again. Well, this is Earth Day weekend, and we're focusing on all things environmental on our new weekday show, Pattern. Our Jordan Steele and Stephanie Abrams have a preview of what's coming up tomorrow. So let's talk about where else we're going to get some of this messy weather, and then where we're going to get the cold weather behind it. I know you might not want to hear about it, but the best preparation is being prepared. I always say that, and then I keep thinking there's going to be something else to say other than preparation, and there's never anything else to say. Just be prepared. We're going to have rain and storms first in the warm sector of the system, and then you see it, the hovering blue box moving in. That's the much cooler air coming in behind that cold front, and you guys are going to feel that difference. So tomorrow we still have highs above average across upstate New York, the Allegheny Plateau, down through the mid-Atlantic into the southeast, but the blue blob of coldness is going to make its way in. And not just that, but gusty winds, this low possibly strengthening there as it's along the coast. So you've got blustery, rainy, colder weather all coming along with this. Now, the good news about Tuesday is we're still going to have some of that warmth, but eventually this cold is going to erode that warmth away, and we're going to see it filling into the capital city across the Great Lakes region really intensely with those temperatures below average. Here's what it looks like for your Monday. You can see that rain filling in, and by Tuesday we've got sporadic showers up and down the eastern seaboard. The cooler air going to be trying to move in as we head through the middle part of the week, and you see it here. That's right, we're still showing a little bit of possibility of winter on the maps. I know, adding insult to injury after those 80s. We've got not like Dr. Postal. I also don't like this recipe, although I will say one thing we can be happy about is right now it's just rain showers for the most part. We have had some storms on and off, but generally a lot of this is just light rain moving through portions of Missouri and Illinois right now. Can you tell where we've got that frontal boundary stirring up the atmosphere? It's been a wet, soggy morning in Chicago, and you can generally see what's happening here. You've got these rain showers kind of riding along that frontal boundary, kind of moving south to north, and so that means wherever that front is continuing to kind of hang out, it's going to continue to provide that focal point. So Chicago, you're in the rain now. You'll likely be in the rain most of the day. Now, here's the other piece of this puzzle. We've got that chance for storms as this moves through, but look what it's also doing. We've got a balmy, beautiful 77 degrees in Charleston, West Virginia, 76 in Lexington. Fantastic, right? Behind the front, though, you see what's happening. Much cooler air going to end up moving in. It's that clash of the air masses that's one of the ingredients that's coming together to bring us that risk for severe weather that we're seeing here. And like Dr. Postal was talking about, we've got much more on this coming up after the break. Of course, that is part of the most important part of the equation if you're trying to figure out the rest of your weekend. When can I get out versus when do I need to be in? So for today, here's where we have that risk for severe storms across Illinois. Champaign, you're included in that as well as Sullivan. This is going to stretch back into Springfield as well, but you can see where the darker shade of red is. That's where the higher risk for those severe storms looms today. A look at the current radar. You can see we've got some lightning and thunder there moving through just north of Bloomington. Springfield, some showers knocking on your door. Decatur, you're getting a bit of a break right now, as well as Champaign. But all of this is going to continue pushing its way eastward along with that frontal boundary as the atmosphere is out. The risk for, damaging winds and hail, that severe flood threat kind of gets pushed to the back burner, and it shouldn't. It's also a very dangerous threat that's coming along with this system. So taking a look at where we've got the rain out there this morning, you can see through portions of Missouri and Illinois, we've got that rain kind of being guided by that frontal boundary. It's been a soggy morning in Chicago. Some storms just outside of Aurora that are going to lift through. Some heavy rain, some lightning associated with that. Look at the difference. Ahead of the front, we're in the 80s in Charleston, West Virginia. Meanwhile, with that cooler air building in places like Des Moines at 54 degrees right now, and it's going to get cooler. Here's our risk area for today where we have the severe storms across the northern tier. We've got more after the break.